everyone, my name's Madyson with the Indianapolis Star, and this is...
I'm Tanorria from Tanorria Askew.
Today Tanorria is going to teach me how to make her famous green bean casserole. So you want to get us started, tell us about these ingredients we're working with?
Let's do it. So this is very traditional flavors, but this is green bean casserole from scratch.
Okay.
So because of that, we have fresh green beans and fresh mushrooms, and we're going to use the mushrooms to make like a mushroom gravy. So we've got some chicken stock, some heavy cream, garlic, of course, because that goes in everything. And then we're going to make our own French fried onions to go on top. So we've got some cornstarch, some onions, a little bit of flour, and some oil to fry those onions in.
Awesome, sounds great. Let's get started.
Let's do it.
So let's cut some onions and garlic.
Yes, we're going to cut onions for two purposes. One to go in the casserole, and then one to do the French fried onions. The garlic is just going in the mushroom gravy. I'll do the onions so you don't cry. I'll take the tears.
I appreciate it. How many cloves?
Let's do like 5 or 6.
Okay, and mince, I like tuck my fingers back, right? And
you got it.
Just like kind of rock the knife.
Excellent, yeah.
Look at that, oh my gosh, I'm cooking.
When you get the, like the bulk green beans, you're always gonna have to snap off the stems. But with these bagged like this, I just found one with a stem on them. So you just wanna kind of go through and check them. Make sure there aren't any soggy tips from the ones where the stems have been removed. This is the part that's coming directly off the green bean plant, and this is just kind of not appeasing to the palate. It won't hurt you, it's just hard. So we just snip that off. That's all we gotta do. Okay. And then if you want to, you can cut your green beans in half or in thirds. That's 100% personal preference.
Okay, cool. Well, let's get to the next step.
Let's do it. So I'm gonna go in with about a teaspoon and a half or so of bacon fat and give that a chance to melt.
Okay.
And then we will add our mushrooms. So we're gonna use this whole container and we're just gonna put them down. So that sizzle, that's when you know it's ready to put them in there. So we're gonna add in some onion and let those saute. And I am putting in the mushrooms and the onion before I add the garlic, because we're building this, and if I put the garlic in too early, it can burn. In goes the garlic. And we're just cooking this portion, the onions, the garlic, and the mushrooms, until the onions start to turn a little translucent. Now it is time to add some ingredients to this, and we're essentially going to be making a roux. And a roux is any fat and flour, and they're equal parts. So a tablespoon of some kind of fat, a tablespoon of flour. A cup of some kind of fat, a cup of flour. It's 1 to 1. Okay. For our fat, we're using a little bit of butter, and this is about a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half.
Okay.
I'm gonna put that in my skillet and let it melt. And I've got some, this is just all-purpose flour, nothing fancy. And I'm just going to sprinkle about a tablespoon of that in there. And then I'm just gonna stir to kind of help them out. And what we're doing is getting the butter melted, and we're also cooking the flour to get out that raw flour taste.
Okay.
We don't want to taste raw flour in our gravy. But this roux is essentially the start of our gravy. It's the thing that's gonna make our gravy thick. All right, in goes our stock. We're just doing a little bit right now to get things broken up, dissolve the flour, get it thick, and then we'll add more. You have salted our water really well.
Yes, yes.
And I am just going to drop this in. We're going to do this in batches. So I'm just going to drop those in, and we are going to give them about 30 to 45 seconds. We just want them to turn their brightest green, essentially.
Okay.
I am going to pull these out, and they're going to go directly into ice water, and that stops them from continuing to cook and getting a funny brownish shade of green. We don't want that. Our gravy is essentially done, but I want to make it super luscious, so I'm going to add a little bit of heavy cream.
Okay.
No, that's good.
That's really good.
I think that's kind of perfect. Got our onions, and I am just going to slowly lower them in. we go. Let those fry up just until they're golden brown. They will continue to cook when we put it in the oven as well.
Okay.
I'm going to get these out, and then you are going to give them a little sprinkle of salt.
Okay.
So we've got our blanched green beans and our sauce that we're going to mix together. Are you comfortable lifting this hot cast iron skillet so I can get the sauce out?
I am. Just let me, like now or?
Yep, let's go for it.
All right.
Be
So
careful.
how are we wanting this here? Just
However
this?
you're comfortable with. That's perfect. Get all the goodness in here. And remember, this is the cream of mushroom soup part, okay? Oftentimes with a traditional green bean casserole that you get off like the Thanksgiving canned recipe, they'll add extra milk, and I usually don't.
Oh, look at that. That looks so yummy.
Good. And then into our casserole dish here.
I'll get this out of our way so you can see that. Oh, gorgeous. Definitely got that emerald green color you mentioned.
Yeah. Get all the gravy and the mushrooms. And then let's just sprinkle these onions. I kind of like to create a little border. Be careful, they are warm.
Okay.
And I just kind of like to do a little border instead of putting them directly in the middle. Ooh, that was hot. Perfect.
Oh my god.
Let me taste. So yummy. It's just onions.
That's not fair. It's so good.
Isn't that so pretty?
Yeah, it's so pretty.
So this is gonna go in the oven for about 20 minutes on 400. What's great about this recipe is you can make it ahead of time without the onions.
Okay.
Bake it off, and then on Thanksgiving Day, pull it out, reheat it, and then put your onions on. Or put
Amazing.
your onions on and then reheat it.
Amazing, okay. Oh my gosh, Chef, I am so freaking ready to try this.
Ready for this?
Yeah. Perfect.
Some for you.
Yeah, great. Oh my god, that's so good. That's so good. Oh my god. So Chef, where can people find this recipe?
This recipe is on my website. It's actually the very first recipe on my website. So if you go to tanorriastable.com, and click all the way to the very end, it's the first one. Or you can just search green bean. I hope your family loves this. I really do.
I'm like shoveling it into my face right now. It is so good.